going on, Bears fans? Welcome to Geek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Who is this?
Big Bucket.
Big Buckus.
Walter Payton, it's the man.
Finds Cole Kmet wide open. Touchdown Bears. Let's go. Who is this?
Georgia.
Nice throw, Jay Field.
I think I can fit in as like a water boy for the Panthers or something. I'm not talking about get on the field,
It's picked off. Picked off an end zone by Kyler Gordon. Let's go. Put some respect on Kyler Gordon's name. And as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
Hey, what is going on, Chicago Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for yet another live stream right here on the podcast. Once again, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. And make sure you also do me a huge solid when you tune in today's live stream. Make sure you also give me a big thumbs up on this video as well. That'd be much appreciated. As you guys can see by the title of this video, which I already realized that I actually misspelled a word in this title, so I do apologize for that. But as you can see in the title of the video, the Chicago Bears, there's a rumor going around that the Chicago Bears may not be done adding weapons to this offense. Obviously, this is not like a super crazy rumor. This is the expected thing that we would assume the Chicago Bears could be looking into. Obviously, the Chicago Bears did trade for wide receiver Keenan Allen from the Los Angeles Chargers for a 4th-round pick a couple of weeks ago, or just a week ago. But we do understand that Keenan Allen is 31 years old. He's about to turn 32 during this season or prior to the season. So it does make a lot of sense that the Chicago Bears could be looking into adding more weapons. This comes from Brad Biggs of the Chicago Tribune. I mean, obviously, Brad Biggs, you could take him with a grain of salt. Obviously, he's not always accurate, but he does have his sources with inside Hallis Hall. So for the most of the time, when he says something, most of the time it's going to happen. Brad Biggs has been made it very clear that the Chicago Bears are most likely, and we can all assume that they're going to take Caleb Williams with the #1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft. But he also says when it comes to the #9 pick, he seems confident of what they will do if the board falls the right way. So for example, he thinks the Chicago Bears are going to take another wide receiver if the board falls the right way in the 2024 NFL draft. He had this to say: I think wide receiver 2 is a need when you project ahead. Knowing Allen is 32 and on a 1-year deal, you can make a case center is a need, which we all know, if you are not high on the combination of Ryan Bates and Coleman Shelton. But #9 is certainly not territory to draft a center. Defensive tackle feels like it's on the border of need 1 as well, and #9 might be too rich for any of the prospects at that position. So where does that leave Ryan Poles as preparation ramps up for the April 25th to the 27th draft? He laid out a couple scenarios for the #9 overall pick in the column last week, where the trade for Allen, the 4th option, would be open to a host of additional possibilities as it would involve a trade down. He said this: I would not rule out the possibility of a wide receiver at #9. It's my hunch that Neighbors and Adunze will be high enough on the Bears board to be very much under consideration if either slides to the 9th pick. In fact, they're so attractive that my guess is Ryan Poles would not pull the trigger on a trade of the 9th pick until he's on the clock, unless he has an offer in front of him that is simply too good to pass up. Obviously, we had talked about this before, Bears fans. There's many different scenarios that the Chicago Bears could really consider. Obviously, I know there's a lot of people saying we should trade down. We only have 4 picks in the 2024 NFL draft. So I know there's a lot of Bears fans saying we should just trade down, try to get that 2nd-round pick back, maybe even try to get like a 4th, maybe in picks 5 through 7. Maybe also get future draft capital by trading away from the 9th overall pick. There's a lot of people saying that we should stay put and draft a guy like Dallas Turner or Jared Verse. We also have a major need to find another edge rusher alongside Montez Sweat. So that would also be a really good option. But this seems like a really intriguing option as well. If Malik Neighbors or Rome Odunze do fall to #9, which at this moment, it kind of seems unlikely, but anything is possible when you're looking at the 2024 NFL draft. But if any of those players fall to the #9 overall pick, it may be too good to be true for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears to actually pass up on that opportunity. Because you have to realize that with Rome Odunze and Malik Neighbors, you can consider them top 5 to top 6 picks, right? So if they happen to fall to number 9, I think the value would be too good to pass up unless someone is trying to give you a massive haul to trade up within the top 10 to get that number 9 overall pick to you, right? So to me, it makes a lot of sense. You look at Keenan Allen, he's about to turn 32. He is basically on a 1-year deal. Maybe the Bears do extend him for a couple of years, but you're still considering that his age, even though I think he's still playing at a high level, Father Time will catch up with you eventually. So that's why the Chicago Bears could possibly consider this move, right? Taking Odunze or Neighbors, they do fall to the number 9 overall pick. But at the same time, we do have other areas of need. And it seems to me that with only 4 picks in the NFL draft, I would assume that Ryan Poles will try to trade down a little bit and just hope that one of those edge rushers is there, maybe like Jared Verse, which would be an outstanding option for the Chicago Bears defensive line. Also staying put and drafting Dallas Turner would be an amazing option for the Chicago Bears offensive line as well. So my question for you Bears fans on this quick little live stream, like I said, I didn't want to do a pre-recorded video today. I just wanted to come on a quick little live stream to talk with you guys for a little bit. What would you guys do if you were in GM Ryan Poles' shoes? Would you stay put at number 9 and just hope that one of these receivers is there? Or would you trade down? So let's say hypothetically, you're at number 9, right? And you have Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, and both edge rushers available, and you have teams calling you for the number 9 overall pick. What would you guys do if you guys were in GM Ryan Poles' shoes? Because to me, the Chicago Bears have a need at wide receiver. Technically, they don't, but they also do when you're looking at the future of the wide receiver position. But they also have a massive need at the edge rusher position as well. But you can also take the opportunity to possibly get some massive draft capital in the 2024 NFL draft by trading down from number 9. So if you guys were in Ryan Poles' shoes, what would you exactly do with the number 9 overall pick? Because we can all understand that with the number 1 overall pick, it should be Caleb Williams. I think it's going to be a lock. That's Caleb Williams is going to be the next Chicago Bears quarterback. But at the number 9 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft, it seems like a little bit cloudy of a conversation right now because the Bears can go in many different routes. So go ahead and comment down below in the comment section. I mean, give me your guys' your reaction on what you guys would do with the number 9 overall pick if you were in GM Ryan Poles' shoes. As I go in to read some of your guys' comments, once again, I do appreciate you guys tuning in for this quick little live stream episode right here on Keek on the Mic. We have Art Soda in the chat. He says, yo, Keekmeister, how you doing, Art? Thank you so much for tuning in. Someone said, give us that juicy rumor juice. I don't know if it's juicy. It's not really a juicy rumor, but I think it definitely is a rumor. Moving on. MC Fact says 26 showing, 6 likes. Let's hit that like button. Yes, do me a favor and hit that like button. That would be much appreciated. Someone said bear down to you as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Someone said take Odunze if he is there. If not, trade down to 12 or 13 and take Brian Thomas Jr. That's also a very good plan. Eric says, what's up? New to Keek on the Mic, now subscribed and notifications on. Thank you so much, Eric, for being a new listener, a new subscriber to Keek on the Mic. I'm really glad to have you. Someone said bear down, Keek, bear down to you as well. Someone said Keek on the Mic intro should be on Spotify. I appreciate that, Chicago Sports Doc Michael. I know a lot of people really, really enjoy my intro, so I'm glad that you guys can get like a little shimmy in before my episodes start. Someone said trade the number 1 overall pick. I don't think that's going to be an option. Maybe Ryan Poles throws us a curveball, but I don't think they're trading the number 1 overall pick. I think Caleb Williams will be a Chicago Bear. Someone said, Lewis says, great content, Keek. If Bowers is available at 9, he is Kelsey Kittle level. Gerald Everett is old. Would you take? That's another conversation we have to take that we need to have, right? If Brock Bowers is there, do you take a chance on Brock Bowers? Obviously, Gerald Everett signed a 2-year contract, but he is an older vet. He's definitely not the long-term answer at that tight end 2 position. But you have to understand that Brock Bowers is a starting caliber tight end in the National Football League. So that's definitely a conversation that we can have. But I think if Odunze, Neighbors, both edge rushers are there, I think Ryan Poles and the Bears possibly take a receiver I just have that hunch feeling that they do take that receiver. Someone else says bear down, bear believes, says bear down to you as well. Someone said, not a big Jared Verse guy. Yeah, when you look at Jared Verse, he's just simply all power. He's just a powerful guy. Still has a lot to learn as an edge rusher. But when you look at a guy like Dallas Turner, I feel like he is just an overall, all-around better edge rusher. He can beat you with speed. He can beat you with power, right? So I personally would take Dallas Turner if we are going to lean towards an edge rusher. Someone said Odunze, take Odunze. I think that would be an excellent option. 6'4"? Definitely was Michael Penix Jr.'s go-to guy. I don't even think they'll take a wide receiver at 9. They're taking an edge. Yeah, and that's very possible that they sit at 9 and take the best edge rusher available. And to me, that is Dallas Turner. Someone says we need an X receiver, big jump ball guy and contested catch guy. Odunze is him. Yes, Odunze does all those things. And like I said, the only reason why we have to have this conversation, I know a lot of people are saying, well, the Chicago Bears don't need a wide receiver. Well, why not? Keenan Allen is 32. How much longer do you expect Keenan Allen to play, right? So it's always good to have that backup option and a guy that can contribute right away. Odunze, Malik Neighbors, they will contribute right away, even with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore on this roster. Someone said DeMarcus Walker is fine for this year. Draft edge next year in the big edge draft. Very well could be an option as well. Someone says, who we gutting? I'm not sure what you're asking right there. Art Soda says, I am not sold on Waldron developing. I'm not sold on Waldron developing Waldron. He gets a lot of credit for Geno reviving. In reality, it was Dave Canales, his then QB coach, that made him good. Look at what Canales did with Baker. That is a very true point. Someone said, trade the number 1 overall pick. Maybe, once again, right? Maybe Ryan Poles throws us a curveball, but I think it may be a little bit unlikely. I think we're taking Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick. So if you're just now tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in for this quick little live stream right here on Keek on the Mic. Obviously, I'm talking about a rumor going around from Brad Biggs saying the Chicago Bears might not be done adding weapons, and it's going to come via the 2024 NFL draft, basically insinuating that if the draft board falls Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears way, that they would be interested in taking a guy like Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors if they do fall to the number 9 overall pick. So the question that I'm having you guys answer right now on this live stream is, if you were in GM Ryan Poles' shoes and we're at the number 9 overall pick, right? You have people calling for to possibly be trained up to number 9. You have Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, all the edge rushers available, maybe Fashanu as well. What would you do with the number 9 overall pick? Let me know in the comment section. As I'm looking through the comments now, MCB says, I would take Fashanu at number 9 if he's there. I wouldn't go wide receiver in the first round later on. That's definitely a good plan. MC Fact says, wide receiver O-line, all is the way to go with the 9th. And that's another conversation, is that if Joe Alt happens to be there with the number 9 overall pick, because to me, when I look at Joe Alt, I think he should be a top 5 pick, no problem. But if he does happen to slip the number 9, the Chicago Bears may consider him, because I think it is an upgrade over a guy like Braxton Jones. So I think Ryan Poles being an offensive line type of guy, right? I think he would consider it for sure. Someone said, at this point, trade the number 9, get some picks, take an edge in the teens, then trade some of the next year's picks to back early in this draft to protect our rookie QB with a tackle or center. Obviously, the offensive line being built up for years to come is really important, especially with the new quarterback coming in. You want to make sure that he's protected and has time to throw the football. Someone says, I love this broadcast. What's your dad was there? Go Bears. I think you meant wish your dad was there. Yeah, my dad is currently working right now. I do plan to bring my dad on more often. Just to talk about the Chicago Bears. I'll probably bring him on for the 2024 NFL draft, as we're going to do a live stream for that as well. First and foremost, I want to thank for having 123 people in the chat. Once again, it's 246. It's a random part of the day. Anytime I go live, it does not matter. You guys are in attendance and ready to engage with me. So I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Chicago Sports Talk Michael says, Keek, only receiver I see us getting is Rice because he has chemistry with Caleb. Definitely could be. I definitely like Brendan Rice. I would actually be okay with taking Brendan Rice in the second round. If we had a second round pick and he was there, I would definitely take a wager on Brendan Rice. I think with some development, I think he has a high ceiling in the National Football League. What's going on, Robert? Thank you so much for the question. Thank you so much for tuning in. He says, bear down, baby. Bear down to you as well. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Mac Daddy says, Go get the offensive line. Caleb holds onto the ball too long. Yeah, and that's one of the things that Caleb does hold on to the ball a lot, longer than he should be hold on to the ball. He does play a hero ball. He's always looking for the big play instead of taking the easy layups at times. So you want to make sure the offensive line is ready to go. Once again, I'm just going to be looking through you guys' comments. If you guys have any questions for me personally, feel free to shoot them in the chat. I'm also thinking about dropping the link in the chat if you guys want to come on and ask me questions live. Once again, when I drop the link to these live streams, make sure you're respectful of me. Make sure you're respectful of the channel. If you have a question, if you want to comment on what you would do with the number 9 overall pick or what you would do at the quarterback position, feel free to come on and ask me that question. So I'll drop the link here in a couple of minutes. Someone says, you're the cleanest all football talk podcast. You're the man, Keek. Thank you so much for the nice words. I try to give you guys some very positive Bears content here on Keek on the mic. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to drop the link just for a couple of minutes. Once again, just ask your question. Don't try to stay on for too long. Ask your question, interact with me for a couple minutes, and then just hop off, right? We don't need to be on here for 20 minutes going back and forth. But I do like the chance for you guys to come on and let me know what you guys are feeling about the Chicago Bears right now. So there we go. The link is in the chat. If you guys wanted to hop on, let me make sure to start so you guys can see it. Chicago Sports Talk Michael says, Keek, you really should consider having your intro on Spotify. I could, but I think it's enough just being on my YouTube channel, right? So someone said, what rumor? The rumor going around right now is basically that the Chicago Bears, the draft board fell the right way. And if Malik Nabers and Rome Odunze were there, they would not shy away from adding more weapons to this offense. Once again, I got my headphones on. So if anyone does want to chime in, I do have the link in the chat. Anyone wants to come in, just ask me a question or talk a little bit about Bears football as well. I'm going to be doing that for a couple of minutes. Not too long, but just giving you guys the opportunity to come on and interact with me for a little bit. T. Collins says, it's time we all band together to support our Bears. Bear down. Yes, bear down to you as well. I think that's the right move. Whoever the quarterback is, let's all come together and support our quarterback moving forward. I think the Bears, just a lot of positivity coming our way, right? Just a lot of positive things coming within this franchise. Jack Burton says, I'm glad I found this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a subscriber and a loyal listener to the channel. Like I said, I try to my best to give the most positive Bears content. So I appreciate you being here and supporting the channel through and through. Brandon Campbell says, number 9, Ryan Poles, Eberflus, Ian Cunningham has decisions to make. Jared Verse, Adunze, Joe Alt are at 9 if they are not gone off the draft board. Yeah, it's going to be a interesting decision for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears if they have all that talent on the board. I think at that point, Ryan Poles would possibly consider trading down, getting some draft capital, and still landing a top 10 player, in his opinion, would probably be the right move. Joe Ramirez says, I do see Caleb Williams being the number 1 pick from the Bears. If none of the wide receivers are available, trade down to a team that needs a QB. And if Turner or Verse is available, draft one of them. And I think that's the most logical situation to happen with the number 9 overall pick. If you are the Chicago Bears, I think that would be a great plan. Great bulletproof plan there. Thank you so much for the comment. Mac Day says, bring back Pops, block anyone who disrespects him. Like I said, I've already started the process that if anyone disrespects me, disrespects my family, or disrespecting people in the chat, they will instantly be blocked from Keek on the mic. This is all positive vibes here from here on out for this podcast. Someone says, could the Bears trade back and get Jackson Powers Johnson? Yeah, I think that's also a great move, right? I think Jackson Powers Johnson, we still have a kind of a mystery going on at the center position of this offensive line for the Chicago Bears. Yes, they added a couple of guys, but not long-term options whatsoever. I mean, if you trade back far enough and you get some picks in the second round, right? Maybe get some later round picks in day 3 as well, and are still able to get Jackson Powers Johnson, I think that would be a perfect pick for the Bears. MC Fact says, Keek, this is your podcast. I get it and respect it. With that said, if your dad comes on, can he stay away from the profanity and N-word usage? Again, I respect you and you're professional. Yeah, that's one of those things. I think tempers were high that day. Like, we're going back to that situation. You have to understand that my dad and I are both prideful people and human beings. You have to understand that when he wasn't originally supposed to come on that show, right? There were people on there calling him out and attacking him, right? So I think for the most part, he's not going to just sit back and just take it. But I do respect the comment. Like I said, I don't think there was any disrespect by using those words. I think it was just him kind of going on the defense because he was being attacked. He was being called out to come on this show. But I do appreciate the comment. We do try to keep it respectful here on the podcast. Someone says, you need protection for our rookie QB. I'm afraid that no matter the weapons, without that O-line, all rookie QB struggle or are even ruined. Proof in the pudding. That is absolutely correct. We have to build that offensive line. And that's why I'm strongly considering that if Joe Alt is there at 9, I think Ryan Poles may shock everyone and pull the trigger and just stay put and draft Joe Alt, the tackle out of Notre Dame. So, because then you have Darnell Wright at the right tackle. You have Joe Alt at the left tackle. Now you have your pillars for the next 10 to 12 years for Caleb Williams, right? So I think that would be the best case scenario for Ryan Poles to have like a guy like Joe Alt drop to 9, personally. Once again, if anyone's interested in hopping on and talking some Bears football with me, like I said, don't make it too long, but I do have the link in the chat. Once again, I will drop it in the chat once again. If anyone wants to come on and talk some Bears football, you can ask me any question. You can just say what's up to Keek on the mic. You can give me your thoughts and opinions on what Ryan Poles should do with the number 1 overall pick or the number 9 overall pick. Anything you guys want to say, as long as it's respectful and you're not disrespecting anybody. Kevin says, bear down, baby. Bear down to you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in for this quick little live stream episode. Kenyon K says, I hate to say it, but I have a strong feeling we're only leaving with 4 picks. Yeah, that very well could be true. Maybe Ryan Poles' plan is that we're going to take the 4 best players available. The best player at 1, the best player at 9, the best player at 75, and the best player at 122. And let me tell you, I'm fine with that plan. As long as all those players can contribute right away, hey, let's do it. Let's go. I'm totally fine with that. Someone said, I'm going to be so disappointed if we pick Joe Alt, man. Wide receiver, edge, or trade down for me. Yeah, I think everyone has a right to their opinion. I just think Joe Alt is the best tackle in this draft. And you have a chance to really like add and solidify to your offensive line. And with a specimen, like especially athletic specimen like Joe Alt, I think it would be big time for this offensive line. For sure. We have CarCast 49ers Talk podcast in the chat. He says, yo, if you guys are interested, I know we're not 49ers fan. He runs a really good 49ers podcast, really respectful guy. Gives me a lot of props as well. Definitely working hard. He's young too. So he's starting at a young age. So his thing is going to blow up as he continues to work and as he continues to grind. Really respect his grind. Thank you so much for tuning in to this live stream. Appreciate you. The one Chicago guy says trade next year 1 and 2 and get to 4 and get Harrison, get Caleb and keep 9 and get Joe Alt. I like that plan. You know how I feel about Marvin Harrison Jr., guys. I don't want to, I don't want to have any pipe dreams on this channel, right? But you guys all know how I feel about Marvin Harrison Jr. I think it would be a dream come true to get Caleb and Marvin. But hey, I'm trying my best not to talk too much about it because I know it's not really going to happen. But hey, it's always good to have those dreams, right? Someone said, you don't like football if you're sad the Bears get Joe Alt at number 9. Yeah, hey, obviously, if you have a chance to solidify your offensive line with Joe Alt falling to number 9, you're talking about a guy that can easily go top 4, top 5 in the 2024 NFL draft. If he falls to number 9 to the Bears, you got to pull the trigger and definitely select the guy. Once again, we do have a couple of people backstage. I'm going to let them on in a couple of minutes or a couple seconds here. I'll just add them onto the stage real quick. How you guys doing, fellas?
Keith on the what's up, Keith?
Doing
good, doing good.
Thank you so much for tuning in. What's going on with you guys?
Nothing much. I'm not sure if anybody saw my video about comparing the rookie years of both Mitch Trubisky. I mean, if you go look at what Mitch had to deal with his rookie year, and you go with if you unless you're a diehard Bears fan, you will know exactly who was on Mitch's roster that year because it was a bunch of nobodies. But my point is, what that video is, we're not going to give Caleb the time to develop as we did with Justin Fields and Mitch Trubisky. And my thing is, to all the Bears fans, keep your expectations low for Caleb Williams because he's a rookie. I know people are saying that, oh, he's gonna throw 4,000 yards, and I'm like, dude, that's way too much expectation that you have on a rookie. Yeah, he has the talent to do that, but you're having high expectations on a rookie quarterback when, for all we know, the Bears could repeat the cycle and go out there and win 6 to 7, maybe 8 games, and then Matt Eberflus will be fired, and then Caleb will have to learn a new playbook in the span of 2 years, which has been the problem. And you wonder why I say we probably should try to avoid the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right,
because
right.
the last thing we should need is, Eberflus to be fired.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the expectations are going to be high no matter what. You're looking at the number 1 overall pick, a guy that's being compared to the best thing we've seen since Andrew Luck. And I actually did a video yesterday saying, looking at Andrew Luck's stats, and they're impressive. 4,300 passing yards, 23 passing touchdowns, had a bit of an interception problem, but did lead his team to the playoffs in his first season with less talent. He had a 34-year-old Reggie Wayne, which all props to Reggie Wayne. He's still a Hall of Famer, right? And Reggie Wayne still got off that year. He had 106 catches, over 1,300 yards, 5 touchdowns. But after that, he was working with 2 rookie tight ends, rookie running back and Vic Ballard, right? So it's like one of those things that's kind of like my expectation, especially when you look at a guy like CJ Stroud that had a rookie head coach, a rookie receiver, a bunch of young guys, a young defense, and he still got it done. And that was with CJ Stroud missing 2 to 3 games? Had 4,100 passing yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions, made the Pro Bowl in his first year, and led the team to the playoffs in his first year. Won a
playoff game on top of that.
Yes, with less than what Caleb Williams is going to have. So you're damn skippity. I'm going to have high expectations for Caleb Williams. What we got, we have Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, have the opportunity to possibly add Roma Dunze to the mix. It would be absolutely criminal, not for Bears fans not to have expectations, but before I let you get to your point, Michael, let me get Eric in here as well. How you doing, Eric?
Doing good. Just on my way home right now. But what I had to say real quick is I think, everyone's so anxious to see what Ryan Poles and what the Bears do and see how everything kind of molds in. Me included, I'm kind of just an impatient person. I just want to see and know how everything is going to go and fit into place. And I got faith in Ryan as well, to set everything up. I like everything he's been doing. I wanted to keep Justin, but I'm happy with Caleb, and I just I want to see it. I want to be patient with everything molding together, and I'm a diehard Bears fan till I die, regardless how they come.
Yeah, Eric, it's kind of cool because now you're starting to see his vision come to life. It was a long and tough rebuild for Bears fans, but you're starting to see that vision, and I think we're finally a quarterback away. I'm a big Justin Fields guy. Everyone knows that. I wish him nothing but the best. But I think if Caleb Williams is that guy, if they're saying that he's a franchise-altering player with the talent that the Bears have now, if he's that guy, the Bears are going to be special for years to come.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we could compete with Patrick. Here's what people don't understand: the NFC is so weak. The only teams that are going to compete in the NFC are the 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, and the Detroit Lions. Literally, we could be one of those teams if we want to. And hey, I'm expecting Caleb to struggle the first week of the season, and he'll finish off the year strong like Jordan Love did. And maybe, hey, who knows? We may spoil the Cowboys' dreams on in the playoffs. Who knows?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
everybody's going to be coming after Caleb once they play against him. You know, they're going to come that much harder. You know, definitely. I feel.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited for it. You know, I think another thing I really like about Caleb too. I really do. Because, you know, when you look at Mitch and you look at Justin, they're very humble guys. They didn't say a lot. You know, they just kind of try to let their play do the talking. Caleb, like, will let you know, like, I'm that guy. Like, he has like a nice cockiness, a nice aura about him. But he's also humble at the same time, a team first guy. But he knows that he has the talent to be legendary, a talent to be special. And I'll tell you this, if he sweeps the Packers, makes the playoffs, and wins a playoff game in year one, they're going to build that kid a statue in year one as a Chicago Bear. I'll tell you that.
We got to finally beat these Packers, man. I'm over losing them.
I'm over it. I'm over it, man. I'm over it. I am definitely over it. Well, Eric, thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate you.
No problem, man. Glad to be on.
Yes. All right, let's go ahead and go to the chat real quick. I know there's a lot of people interacting in the chat. Yeah, like Michael was saying, you know, the NFC is wide open, and that's why, you know, the expectation for the Bears should be at least a wild card spot.
Yeah, and like I said, and people, Green Bay literally gave the formula just because you're a 7 seed doesn't mean you're weak.
Absolutely, I agree with that. We do have a Kansas City Chiefs fan in here. He says it's Kansas City gang or don't bang it. It's that simple. Hey, congratulations to you. Hey, you have all the right to talk mess. Talk that mess because you guys are back-to-back Super Bowl champs. I wish we could have that feeling. Maybe we're building up to that. Maybe the Bears will get lucky enough to maybe touch a Super Bowl here in the next couple of years. Who knows? But all I'm saying is if Caleb Williams is that guy, all the talk about him is that he's the best quarterback prospect we've seen since Andrew Luck. If he has those expectations, he comes and he lives up to those expectations, the hype, the Bears are going to be so good. The Bears will be a really good football team. And like I said, I understand that he's a rookie. I do. You know, you have to give rookie at least that 1 year. You don't really know a lot about a rookie until year 2. And I think for Caleb, it's all going to be about how long is it going to take him to have that transition from college to the National Football League. Obviously, the National Football League is much faster than college football. So how long is it going to take for him to transition? Once he finds that transition, gets that rhythm, and gets used to the playing football in the NFL, I think it'll click.
And like I said, the only reason why we should expect playoff is strength of schedule. We play the Patriots, the Commanders, we played the NFC West, and we play the Seahawks. Well, and we play the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are going to get better. And the only loss I really see are divisional opponents. Obviously, honestly, here's a hot take: I think we can sweep the Vikings.
Well, yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily a hot take. You know, I think the Vikings are going to be in a downhill. I think more of a hot take is like, oh, we're going to sweep the Lions or the Packers, which we knew we could have swept the Lions last year. But I think, you know, I'm not really worried about the Vikings. I'm not really worried about the Lions. I know I really think we have the Lions number. It's just the Green Bay Packers. Like, something's got to give. Something's got to give. Someone said this in the chat. Interesting thought. Dave says, calling it now, Tannehill will be signed as a QB vet to help Caleb Williams. Interesting. You know I've seen his name kind of floating around. Like possibly as maybe before training camp, if he's still there, bring him in, or I guess you just let Tyson Bagent come. I don't know, but obviously Tyson Bagent's going to be learning a new offense as well. I know that's why we signed Rippon, because I know he is that veteran that knows Shane Waldron's offense. But I don't believe that he could be a starter, and I don't really necessarily believe that Tyson Bagent is ready to be a starter either.
For the Bagent fan club, Tyson Bagent should not be on our roster, and I mean that severely. I mean, I got nothing but I did appreciate him filling in for Justin Fields, but watching him play, it's just like I rather say he's worse than Mike Glennon. He's worse than Mike Glennon.
Oh, that okay. I don't know. Mike Glennon was pretty bad. Mike Glennon was pretty bad, though. I think personally, Tyson Bagent, he was a rookie coming from a D2 school. One of the things that you have to like about Tyson Bagent's game is that he does have a quick release, quick processing speed. He just had a noodle duck of an arm. I think that was it. It's just like the strength factor for him. And just getting more reps in the National Football League. I do think Tyson Bagent will survive as one of the 3 quarterbacks to have on this roster if we do keep 3 quarterbacks. I think why Rippon may beat him out is because he knows the offense. But I don't know. I think Caleb Williams is probably going to be the clear starter, right? From day one, if you draft him, he's the number 1 overall pick. And I know personally, I would love to see him sit for a year and learn and not rush him into a situation. But at the same time, it's a good situation to come into.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to sign a veteran and have him start because remember the last 2 that we signed, Glennon and Dalton. Look how that turned out.
Right. For sure. Yeah. You don't want Tannehill to be, like an Andy Dalton, right? So for sure. I definitely is. All right. Someone also said, Lewis Grimes, thank you so much for the comment, says no excuse to not win division next year. I could see it. I could see us pushing, I think the Detroit Lions are going to be a tough team. I think Green Bay has a really good young roster, really good young team. I mean, if Jordan Love can continue playing at a high level, honestly, you just added Josh Jacobs to the fold as well. Still have a pretty good defense. So that's going to be a tough game. Just because the Bears got better, the Green Bay Packers are also building something special over there as well. So it's going to be a tough matchup, but they're not just going to hand us a win. But I think the Bears are hopefully ready to compete with the Green Bay Packers.
Exactly. We have to. Well, I'm not saying we're going to compete. We're going to win the division, but the Lions are going to win that division. Until the Bears prove me otherwise, and the Lions will be favorites to win that division for the years coming.
But I do have a question for you, Michael. But why would the Lions be favored to win the division when the Bears were 4 minutes away from sweeping them last year? With not as much talent on the roster, we're gonna get better.
The reason why they're favorites is because they won the division and they made it all the way to the championship game. Yeah, the Bears were close to I don't agree with it, but the Lions should be favored to win that division.
Yeah, I slightly disagree with that. I think Green Bay will be a favorite as well. I really do think because you have to think about the momentum that they had. And they were in their own right a couple of minutes from knocking off the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers, right? If it wasn't for a couple of mistakes by Jordan Love in crunch time, they would have had a chance to go to the Super Bowl with Jordan Love in his first year starting. So I definitely think the Green Bay Packers should be in consideration. I think the Bears are going to have to prove it first. I don't think anyone's going to give Bears the nod, they're going to win a division for sure. But I think once the season starts, I think that they'll probably give us a little bit more respect, but you also have to win. You have to win games.
Yeah, but well, shout out to 49ers Ultimate. He told me this. First you have to compete with your division before we consider divisional division title.
Yeah. Yeah, someone said that some bro, you crazy Lions had their chance to shine and they're done. And I think the Lions, they're very dependent on how will Jared Goff play. And I think Jared Goff has been playing pretty good football. So as long as Jared Goff continues to play good football, they have a really good coach in Dan Campbell. I think the Lions will be fine. But I think watch out for the Green Bay Packers. I think they were building something special. They have a really good offensive coach in LaFleur. So I think they can be really, really something special. But it's I think once the Bears get into training camp, maybe, Caleb Williams comes in, he's doing well. I think the Bears can hopefully make a push for the division this year as well. We do have a comment in the chat. Unapologetic Truth says the Bears will regress. I don't want this to be, but Caleb will have to prove he is generational. Absolutely. I could definitely see that as well. Maybe coming in with high expectations, a little bit too much, has to learn the speed of the game. And there's a lot of people saying that Caleb Williams probably won't have a fast start. It may take him 4 to 6 games to kind of get into the groove of things. We're hoping that's not the case, but the reality of it is that the NFL is a different speed than college football. That's definitely a good assessment there. Thanks for the comment.
It depends who we face our first week, because if we face an easy opponent, I mean, Caleb could have a good game, but at the same time, it's just like he may start off slow, and I'm going to say that he's going to throw 11 interceptions his first year.
11 interceptions. Yeah. I could see like anywhere from 20 to 25 passing touchdowns, 11 to 15 interceptions, maybe like 3 to 3,500 passing yards. I don't think we're gonna reach unless he's just that dude, right? Unless he's just insane. And goes off for 4,000. All right, so we do have a couple of comments I want to address in the chat. The first one says there are no easy opponents, and that is very true. Even though the Carolina Panthers were terrible last year, let's say they make a quick turnaround. The Patriots, terrible. Maybe they're good next year or better, right? That's definitely a true assessment there. We got Brandon Campbell says that. Keek on the mic. Bears have to do what Ryan Poles said. Take North and never give it back. I think we're close. I think the Bears are actually close. I really do. We have Mac Daddy. Always love. I love Mac Daddy's name. It always cracks me up. Waiting for Poles to trade with Washington so Caleb can throw 18 picks for them next year. DB is going to jump all over that hero ball crap. Yeah, that's just your assessment. I really do. And that's the thing. I don't think it's going to be a lot of hero ball in the National Football League, right? But I think the assessment here is what I'm hearing, and when I watch Caleb Williams play at USC, it's very much that like his offensive line was in shambles. So that's why he had to, roll out. I think he said in an interview that he doesn't like to run. So he prefers just to stay in the pocket and play within the pocket. But sometimes you have to get out of the pocket and make a play. We do have someone else that wants to join the chat, so we're going to let them on. What's going on, Tito? How you doing?
What's going on, Keek? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. What's your assessment on the Bears right now?
Well, I was a little upset that they kind of got ripped off with the whole Fields trade. I mean, getting them for a 6th-round pick, definitely wasn't happy about that. Honestly, the first thing I thought about was, well, here we go, Pittsburgh again, fleecing us again with trades.
Yeah.
But I watched Caleb's pro day. Actually, I was listening to you while watching it. But you look pretty good. You look decent.
Yeah.
Honestly, I said this to one of my buddies a couple days ago that I've been a Bears fan now for 25 years, and
right.
I think now with the weapons that Poles has brought in, also Keenan Allen, Jared Everett, DeAndre Swift, and whatnot. Right. This is like the first time in a long time that I've kind of been excited for Bears football because, I mean, if Caleb's who they say he is, I see us making some pretty loud noise next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree. You're right on the money. Everything that you said, I've been saying for the longest time. It's like, they're saying that he's the best prospect since Andrew Luck. Generational and franchise-altering player. Even though I don't like putting that generational tag on players, if he is who they say he is, with all the talent we have, the Bears can be special for the longest time. But I do want to ask you a quick question. Like with the number 9 pick, what are you doing if you're Ryan Poles?
With the number 9 pick, honestly, because I feel so secure with our picks next year, I think we'll be all right next year. Yeah. I'm taking a DN. I'm putting someone opposite. I'm putting someone opposite Montez Sweat, whether it be Dallas Turner, Verse, or Laiatu Latu, because those 3 guys, I mean, they're very polished. They're very good DNs. And with a mentor like Sweat on the other side, man, I don't see how they can't. I don't see how they could fail because, having Montez Sweat as a mentor for them, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be easy. Right. With him over there. So yeah, I personally, I think a smart thing to do would be trade down because everyone's like, oh, we need another receiver. Which, I mean, I'm not opposed to that either because, if Keenan Allen goes down or DJ Moore goes down, we're kind of screwed after those two. I mean, Tyler Scott, he hasn't really proven himself. Really get started on Bayless.
Yeah.
So maybe like trade down. You could possibly get one of those 3 edge rushers if you trade down still. So maybe trade down. I'm saying get another 3rd, maybe a lower 2nd, and maybe get that dude from UCF, that receiver, Javon Baker, I think his name is.
Okay.
I think he's really, really good receiver. He's really good route running and stuff like that. I started watching college football a couple of years ago because I'm like, you know what? I want to see like the talent that could come to the Bears. So when they started mentioning all these receivers this year, I'm just like, obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. Love watching him, Roma doing things, Malik Neighbors, and then I started watching Mike Thomas Jr. a lot, but also Javon Baker, and I'm just like, man, this guy he's smooth with his route running.
Yeah.
So maybe him or Keon Coleman. So I don't know. There's a lot we can do. Having only 4 picks, it's kind of a little iffy, but I think we have enough talent right now where I'm feeling pretty good. And also, I'm not trying to compare Caleb Williams to C.J. Stroud, but when C.J. Stroud came in, Nico Collins was, no one knew who he was. Tank Dell, rookie. If you're a good enough quarterback, you will make those weapons you have around you very viable. So I think that again, if they say what he says he is, I think that he could do that.
Right. Hey, really good assessment. Everything you're saying is absolutely right, and that's the fun thing about this is that the Bears have 2 first-round picks. They can address a lot of needs in the draft, even with 4 picks. Right. So I do appreciate you coming on for a quick second and giving your assessment on the Bears.
Absolutely, brother. Love hearing you talk. Love talking about the Bears, man. I could do it every day.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you being a loyal listener and subscriber to the channel. It means the world to me. So, hey, bear down to you, man.
Bear down, brother.
So we're going to go ahead and go to the chat now as we're continuing this conversation, what the Bears will do with the number 9 overall pick. Once again, I do want to thank for still 100 people in the chat in basically the middle of the day, like almost afternoon here in California. So I do appreciate you guys being here. You guys are still engaging with me in the chat. I do appreciate every single person that's calling in as well. Thank you guys so much for being respectful of the channel. And just sitting here talking Bears football. So no nonsense at all. Have a couple people say trade the pick. That's definitely an option for the Chicago Bears. Lewis Grimes says we dominated the Lions and we are better on offense and defense. We should beat Green Bay. That is the hope. That is the hope that we can finally beat the Green Bay Packers. All right. We're still looking through the comments. Someone says, here's one, trade one, get MHJ, get all, and draft Penix or Nix. That would be absolutely a bold move for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears. I have a feeling that since he traded away Justin, that now he's probably going to be all in on getting his guy. And I'm pretty sure I'm close to saying that his guy is going to be Caleb Williams. So a couple more hurdles that they get through. Not very many. I think they just want him back in Chicago to do their pro day. Once again, MC Fact being my hype man in the chat. Thank you so much for that, MC Fact. It says 68 likes and 101 in the chat. Let's hit that like button. Yes, do me a favor and smash that like button. That will do the channel major favors. So once again, we're here talking about how the Chicago Bears might not be done adding weapons to their offense. David says, hey, Keek, how you doing, David? How you doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in for this quick little live stream with you guys. Someone said, calling this too. If Odunze or Neighbors are gone, we will trade back. Next year's draft class is too deep to take a swing now. Very true. Very true. Thank you so much for that comment. I do appreciate you. Once again, just trying to get through all your comments. I appreciate you guys still engaging with me. And for anyone that is new tuning in, thank you so much as well. Brandon Campbell says 34 to 33 days till the NFL draft. Yeah, we're in crunch time now, Bears fans. We are in crunch time. So I'm really looking forward to the 2024 NFL draft. Still trying to work some things out if I'm going to be going on someone else's channel for the draft or if I'm going to do my own live stream. OG Lights Out says, what's up, Keek? What's going on, OG? Thank you so much for tuning in to this stream. David says, how is the wide receiver class for next year? Honestly, I haven't even looked at it. I just been focusing on the 2024 NFL draft. Byron says, you're right. No depth, bunch of one-year linemen, no future. Keenan won't stay healthy for full season. That's definitely a risk. Mark says, hey, Keek, how you doing, Mark? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Someone said DN 2025 draft is supposedly very strong. Yes, that's what I'm hearing as well. So maybe that will sway the Chicago Bears to possibly go in a different direction. Offensive tackle, wide receiver. With number 9 pick, who knows? Trade down, get some assets for this year and possibly next year's draft as well. You never know. We got MC Fact saying bear down to Mark in the chat, bear down to every single one that's in the chat, bear down to all the Bears fans out there, and bear down for being positive. Bears fans, I think we're almost there. I think the Chicago Bears are almost back to playing dominant football. Talking about possibly getting to the playoffs, competing for the division year in and year out. But it's all based on how the number 1 overall pick does. If Caleb Williams is that guy, the Bears will be special for years and years and years to come. It'll be a beautiful situation. Someone said, don't think Washington can't offer the Bears enough for the number 1 Herschel Walker type deal. Let's go. Maybe Washington is all in on Caleb Williams. They're going to offer us a generational haul. Maybe they offer us that 3 first-round picks, couple of second-round picks, maybe a player or 2 just to get up and get Caleb Williams. But obviously the Bears need a quarterback now too. They need a quarterback now too. OG Lights Out says, yo, Keek, I'm still not sold on Caleb Williams, and that is totally okay. You have a right to have that opinion. I think taking a quarterback in the draft, it's always a risk. Even if they call him generational, it's still going to be a risk. Because obviously college football is different than National Football League football, right? So I think it's always a risk. Brandon says, have Bears fans come together since Caleb Williams versus Justin Fields thing since Justin got traded? Okay. Unapologetic Truth says, we are going to be screwed. We will run out of players like we did last year and no more money. That's definitely a situation. David says, hey, Keek, what would your opinion be on Nix or Penix or JJ for the Bears? I'm a big fan of Michael Penix. I'm a big fan of Bo Nix as well. Maybe in the second round, if the Bears did opt to trade down and get Marvin Harrison Jr., and then maybe in the second round, you go get your quarterback in Bo Nix or Michael Penix. But I just think it's not even going to be a sure thing, but I just think you just take one of the top quarterbacks, right? We need a quarterback. That's the most important position in football. So it has to be Caleb, Jaden, or Drake are my top 3 guys. But I really do like Bo Nix and Michael Penix Jr. as well. OG Lights Out says, Keek, I'm leaning towards Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels will be an outstanding player. Look where he's played, SEC. His stats were incredible last season. I think he would also be a good player. Like I said, I think any quarterback can come in here at this point, surrounded by the talent that Ryan Poles has built this roster on. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, DeAndre Swift, a very good defense, right? I think any quarterback can succeed. Someone said, listen, Green Bay Lions building through youth. Sometimes we must look at coaching. Yes, that's very big key. Coaching matters. I said that a lot last season. Coaching matters. Kay DeVries said, when are pro days for May and Daniels? I believe they are next week on the 27th and 28th. I will possibly be going live for both of their pro days as well. So stay tuned for that. MC Fact says, had the Bears not dumped Fields, a haul from Washington might have possibly, but now QB is the biggest need, unfortunately. Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much for correcting me. I tried my best to pronounce names. Dev Vries. That's an interesting last name. I like that name. I know my real name is pretty unique as well, but that's a really nice name. And they said, close. you said close. Yeah, sorry. I try my best to pronounce the names correctly. You said pro days? LOL. Yeah, so the pro days are going to be 27th and 28th. 27th for Jaden Daniels and the 28th for Drake May. All right, Bears fans, I've been on here for about an hour. I just want to thank you guys so much for coming on and continue to support the channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification for all Bears content right here on Keek on the Mic. And make sure you give this live stream a big thumbs up before you leave the live stream today. Once again, love every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support. And until next time, to every single one of you guys, bear down, guys. See you guys next time.